The man who has the room next to mine is parading about as usual in his white dressing gown, hanging around. He's like the ghost of the landing. I am always running into him. He is as thin as a skeleton. He has a bird-like face and sunken dark eyes with a peculiar expression. Cringing, ingratiating, knowing. What's he want to look at me like that for? He's always wearing a dressing gown, a blue one with black spots or the famous white one. I can't imagine him in street clothes. Bonjour. Bonjour, I mutter. I don't like this damned man. When I get downstairs, the patron tells me that he wants to see my passport. I haven't put the number of the passport on the fiche, he says. This patron is exactly like one of the assistants who used to be in the pawn shop in the Rue de Rennes, the one who scowled at you and took your stuff away to be valued. A fish, lording it in his own particular tank, staring at the world outside with a glassy and unbelieving eye. What's wrong with the fiche? I filled it up all right, haven't I? Name, so-and-so. Nationality, so-and-so. Nationality. That's what has puzzled him. I ought to have put nationality by marriage. I tell him I will let him have the passport in the afternoon, and he gives my hat a gloomy, disapproving look. I don't blame him. It shouts Anglaise, my hat, and my dress extinguishes me. And then this damned old fur coat slung on top of everything else. The last idiocy, the last incongruity. Never mind, I have some money now. I may be able to do something about it. 12 o'clock on a fine autumn day and nothing to worry about. Some money to spend and nothing to worry about. But careful, careful, don't get excited. You know what happens when you get excited and exalted, don't you? Yes. And then you know how you collapse like a pricked balloon, don't you? Having no staying power, yes, exactly. So, no excitement. This is going to be a quiet, sane fortnight. Not too much drinking, avoidance of certain cafes, of certain streets, of certain spots, and everything will go off beautifully. The thing is to have a program, not to leave anything to chance, no gaps. No trailing around aimlessly with cheap gramophone records starting up in your head. No, here this happened, here that happened. Above all, no crying in public. No crying at all, if I can help it.
It was a great good fortune that our battalion joined the Egyptian Expeditionary Force. By the time we disembarked our ship for the camp at Mex, the Turk was our new foe. They were burning churches and houses and women and children, and Walker declared that the only worry we would have from him was to hold him back. It was 112 degrees in the shade as we marched across the Sinai desert. "Think of Moses," Walker said to me. "Remember your Bible story? Moses passed over the Sinai and he did not give up." What was he chatting? Moses could strike a rock and out would come water. 1 gallon was all our ration. My spittle was powder. Even boys whose chests bulged from years of cutting cane found gouging out trenches in that terrain devilish work, and I was a clerk. But so was Walker. Yet he moved that desert aside like he was burrowing in his mama's garden. As we laid cables for the front line, we were bombed from the air. One boy on our section was burst by shrapnel. How he screamed. Walker had our machine gun rat-a-tat-tatting over that vast sky, while I soiled my pants. Not all black men are made from the same stuff, you know. Sometimes, how I wished on my friend, break, tremble, complain. I staggered like a jackass, heaving the belt of bullets for the heavy Vickers gun that Walker just strode with, balanced upon his shoulder. 3 days. 3 days was all they gave us to learn that machine gun's tricks before we were put on operations at Umbrella Hill. Now, that was combat.